Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Today, we're gonna hypothesize a very crazy transfer idea that could potentially happen, maybe this summer, maybe next summer. For those of you guys that don't know, Mohamed Salah, Liverpool winger, forward, whatever you want to know him as. He's probably more of a forward, but Jurgen Klopp has been playing him out wide, which probably is kind of numbing him a little bit as opposed to what he could possibly achieve, yet his stats are still absolutely outrageous. He is not being offered what he would like from Liverpool Football Club. His contract expires next year, and he would be open to a move to another Premier League club. Today, I want to discuss the potential possibility of a Christian Pulisic leaving Chelsea and Mohamed Salah coming back to Chelsea swap deal. It is a crazy thought, but it is also one that actually could happen, as Jurgen Klopp is a long-term admirer of Christian Pulisic. But before we get into anything, I do want to ask you guys to head over to the BetVictor YouTube channel to check out the video, the full video in the description. I was on the show again this week. We were talking about best signings of the season and worst signings of the season. And I actually went ahead and said that Lukaku was the worst signing of the season. I've got to agree with Lukaku, because you then expect a man that you've spent 100 million plus on to be the person to kind of pull you out of the mire and start delivering. Yes, it changed the service to him because we didn't start crossing balls in all the time. Yes, then he goes and does an interview with Italian television and decides that he's actually unhappy, having only been back in London for a few months. So yeah, please go over to the BetVictor channel, check the link in the description. I've been on the show many times over the past few months, and I would love to see the GBFC family supporting in the comments down below. Mo Salah. Remember Mo Salah? He scored a goal for Chelsea when we beat Arsenal 6-0 in a game where Samuel Eto'o scored an emphatic hat-trick at Stamford Bridge. Since then, he's gone on to play at Roma, become a star, signed for Liverpool, and all of a sudden, Mo Salah became a striker who was pretty much guaranteed to score 20 goals a season in the Premier League, which is absolutely unheard of in terms of that level of consistency for that kind of price tag. You can only really look at a Sergio Aguero. Didier Drogba didn't even always bag 20 Premier League goals a season. Mo Salah has become one of the only you can guarantee this guy's going to bag you players in the world. Messi didn't quite do it at PSG this year. Lewandowski does it. Benzema does it. Mo Salah does it. Ciro Immobile also does it in Italy quite often too. But Mohamed Salah is not looking likely to sign a new deal at Liverpool because Liverpool are not willing to offer him the kind of money that he wants. This is becoming something now that we are constantly seeing in football, where players know that their shelf life is the same as it always was. There hasn't been any kind of drugs taken yet that can enable a player to actually go on until he's 40 years old, as opposed to the average of between your early 30s and late 30s if you're a bit of a special case, so to say. So Mo Salah at 29 is looking at this thinking, well, if Liverpool don't offer me that 300,000 that he supposedly wants, then I need to move now to maximise my financial earnings potential for my career. It is one of those where, as a football fan, and I do like to see players remaining at clubs, players staying their whole career at clubs, it is something that is going to become more and more unlikely and less common as time goes on, as money continues to develop in the game. But Mo Salah at Liverpool has been absolutely outrageous. When he came to the Premier League, I did wonder if it was a gamble from Liverpool. It would have been very hard to say after just a couple of good years at Roma that it wasn't a gamble. It certainly was. But Mo Salah has become, in many people's view, the best attacking player in the Premier League over the course of the last 4 or so years. And is there a possibility that Mo Salah could join a Premier League club at the end of his contract next year if he ends up not signing that deal? I personally think that Liverpool right now are in a bit of a sticky situation in regards to the way that they are looking at their transfer business. They bought in Luis Diaz. Sadio Mane wants to leave Liverpool. Bayern Munich seems like the obvious place for him to go. So if Liverpool were to potentially lose Mo Salah in this window, it could potentially be catastrophic to how they actually managed to adapt by losing two of those three front men instead of losing him for a free next summer. So I don't imagine there's many Liverpool fans watching this video, but if you are a Liverpool fan, let me know in the comments down below. Would you like to see your club make some serious money for Mo Salah in this transfer window, or would you be happy to let him go for free next year? Because the potential idea of losing Mane and Salah and not having any guarantees that the players you're going to bring in are actually going to be at the level that can replicate what those two special players have brought to Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool team. It would be a massive, massive risk for Liverpool to lose both in one window. But at the same time, it does mean that he can potentially leave for free next summer. Liverpool are reluctant to offer him 300k. Where do I stand on this? And we then bring it back to Chelsea and how this deal could actually see Pulisic go the other way. Mo Salah is absolutely guaranteed to score you 20 goals a season. Get those assists. He's only 29. He's worth a 4-year deal for 300k a week just for the fact that there are so many potential players you could splash that kind of money on with no guarantees. But Mo Salah, despite the form of the last 4 months of this season, I firmly believe that Salah is the kind of player that can go on until he's 33, 34, 35 years old and still be delivering phenomenal numbers. So, Liverpool, I don't know what you're playing at, but there is another idea that we could well entertain here regarding Christian Pulisic at Chelsea. Now, I know that Pulisic, as one of the Chelsea players with a very vast protective fan base, there are a lot of people that think I'm incredibly harsh on Pulisic. I'm going to try and summarise my thoughts on Christian Pulisic right here, right now, in as much detail as I possibly can. Christian Pulisic is arguably the most talented forward player at Chelsea. I think on his day, he's got the most ability. However, where is he going to play? What system does he fit in under Thomas Tuchel? Which means that he can flourish in his best position week by week, game by game, without being dropped because of either an injury or a dip in form, because Chelsea just don't seem to be able to finish anything off in the final third. Thomas Tuchel is looking at the numbers of attackers and constantly trying to keep people happy because nobody is delivering on a consistent basis. But Pulisic is probably, out of all of those attackers, the most talented one with, I still believe, the highest ceiling of potential. That is where I'm at with Christian Pulisic right now. Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool manager, is a long-term admirer of Christian Pulisic, and I think when Liverpool are looking at the fact that Salah could potentially go on a free, they might be looking at Chelsea, and Chelsea might be looking at Salah as a player that could well be bought in, probably not this year, but maybe next season on a free, if Chelsea were willing to let go of Christian Pulisic in order to sign a 30-year-old Mohamed Salah for free. I still think that Chelsea could end up being the ones who benefit from this, because the issue with Christian Pulisic is that the injury record has tarnished the early stages of his career so much. And is he ever going to be able to adapt physically to the physical, harsh nature of Premier League defenders? I don't know. I think Christian Pulisic's a wonderful player. I think he's a wonderful bloke as well. But I do wonder if this league might not be the best suited for him. So for that reason, if Chelsea were to go in for Mo Salah, and as a way for Liverpool to actually let his contract go down, not make money for him this year, there might well be an agreement that could be made, let me know if you even think this is plausible, in the comments down below, that would see Salah come to Chelsea next season and Christian Pulisic go to Liverpool. I think it would be a bit crazy if that were to happen now, although it isn't beyond the realms of possibility, I guess. Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. I wanted to address this today because there is a lot of talk at the moment about which Chelsea attackers will be leaving. There is also a lot of talk about lots of other players who do want to get these big last contracts, who want to make big money. And with Todd Boehly taking over at Chelsea, Chelsea are one of those teams that can offer the kind of money that a player as talented as Mo Salah is actually asking for. So as much as yesterday we addressed Lukaku coming back, failure, the narrative was that he was coming back to a club he failed at initially. That's all gone down the pan. There is a potential with this crazy hypothetical scenario that Mo Salah could come back to Chelsea And it could almost be like the way that Torres to Chelsea is seen by the public. Us Chelsea fans know that Fernando Torres actually did a fair lot more than people give him credit for, but in the grander picture of things, people think Liverpool Torres, unbelievable. Chelsea Torres, what the bloody hell happened? Chelsea went and destroyed another striker. If Mo Salah were to come back and the same were to happen again, I would officially give up with believing that Chelsea can actually ever have a successful striker ever again. Because if we destroy Mo Salah, then, well, I think we should just wash our hands with attackers forever and just bring Marcus Alonso and put him up front forever. But he might be leaving soon too. But stay tuned, because there will be another video later on today with all of the other transfer news, with these kind of stories where there are many different angles to address within one narrative. I'm going to try and give as much detail as I possibly can for you guys here on the channel. Subscribe to GBFC if you are new around here and haven't already done so. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and as I said at the beginning, if you have not yet subscribed to Bet Victor and checked out this week's episode of Last Fan Standing, watch all the way through to the end, leave a comment that the GBFC fam is here in force, and I'll catch you guys later. Come on, you Blues.